Hello and welcome to
you?
the Level One Podcast, the perfectly imperfect podcast focused on progress towards living a fulfilling life. We are your hosts. My name is Michael Lum.
I'm Eric Lum.
I'm Judy Lay, and today we have very special guests. They are our friends, and we actually met them at the Sin City 24-hour Play Festival.
February 24.
Okay, February 24th, 2024. So we met last year. So Marq and Tamara, you guys have brought back theater into our world because we've done a little bit of theater, not a lot, but tell us a little bit more about what you guys are working on and the upcoming festival that you have here in Vegas. So yeah, we're really excited to have you guys here with us today.
Well, thank you. We're really excited to be here.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, just starting with what we have coming up, the next Sin City iteration is Sin City 24 All Dressed Up, and it is coming up on October 4th.
Yes.
So we are already accepting the not applications, participant, agreements from people who would like to be involved as writers, actors, directors, or helpers.
Awesome.
And we're very excited about that. So everything's been going great so far. Like, we're just waiting on people now. Come on, people.
Yeah. We're
Here to help.
plastered it all over, Facebook, all the various theater pages that I'm involved in, that I'm a member of and stuff. And so we're hoping that we'll get everybody signed up that we need. We're looking for, ideally with like 40 actors, 10 writers, 10 directors. So we've already got a few writers who've expressed interest, but no actors or directors yet.
But that's okay. Actors tend to be on the later side of things.
Yeah.
So we believe they're coming. I was thinking, we were talking this morning about how we got into doing the 24-hour play festival. And it's really started with Marq doing it.
Yeah, there's, we came to Vegas from Denver.
Yeah.
And there was a gentleman by the name of Gene Cato. Still is a gentleman by the name of Gene Cato, as he is alive and kicking. And he started the Mile High 24 in Denver.
Oh, cool.
And it started about 5 years before COVID. And I participated every year it happened. Either as a writer, an actor, or a director. 1 year as a writer and actor, which is no story.
Yeah.
But in any case, so that's where I got the idea. And then when we moved,
Well, then COVID happened actually and kind of stopped it because he did it by himself. He did a few years before we met. And then when I met him, I participated. We wrote 1 year together. We were trying to remember that play. It must have been so good because we don't remember.
we know it was Christmas
Honestly.
themed, and that's as much as we remember
That's
about
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't participate in the following year, but then COVID hit and it sort of stopped, the one that Gene Cato was doing. So then after that, Marq asked if he could do one up in northern Colorado where we were living at the time.
So I said, "Do you mind if I do the play festival here?" He says, "Well, just don't call it Mile High 24 because I might bring it back, and I still want to call it that." So because we were in northern Colorado, I called it the NoCo 24, and so and then we brought it here and changed it to Sin City 24.
In the one in NoCo 24, I still wasn't participating in helping him do it.
I see.
So in that one, I wrote and directed and had some fun, and it was crazy. But then what was wanting to help him make it bigger, better, so
Better organized.
Oh, yeah.
That's Tamara's strong point. Is she's got great admin and organizational skills.
in the administration.
Or else, yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm an actor. What do I know?
What does the 24 stand for?
It's
24
24
hours.
hours. It's
24 hours.
So the tagline in this case is 10 plays taken from page to stage in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So on Friday night at 7 o'clock, 10 writers are given parameters, a genre, comedy, drama, romance, whatever the genre may be. And then either a twist or a plot. I mean, excuse me, a prop or a theme or any
Or all of those.
all or any of those. For example, this year.
Don't give away
let
too
me go
much.
back. So they have all night to write their 10-minute play, and then Saturday morning, the directors and actors show up, find out what play they're doing, and at 7:00 Saturday night, they're on. So it's in 24 hours, 10 plays written, produced, rehearsed, ready to go.
And how many people did you guys have last year? It was a blast, by the way. I
think-
joined last minute, but I had a really good time.
We ended up with maybe 30 some actors,
Yeah.
and then we
think
had
so.
our 8 writers and 8 directors. There
Yeah.
was one person who doubled up.
Yeah, there was a
director
writer
and a writer.
yeah,
Nice.
someone who was supposed to write and direct, and
Yes.
that person sadly did not show up.
Yeah, yeah.
So
We also had a writer write 2 plays last year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been kind of cool every year. Mark was about to tell a story in very odd fashion. I'm going to tell a Mark story. So Mark's story is that there was a year when he was a writer that when he dropped off his play in the morning for the people to act it,
Yeah.
Gene, the gentleman in charge of it, said, I'm short actors. Can you stand in for an actor?
Yeah.
He'd been up all night writing his play. So he was like, I don't know. But then he was like, I'll go for it. So he did it, managed to get through the day, and the show went on, So there's been lots of examples of that. We had one of the writers from 2 years ago who wrote a note on our website about that we let her sleep in her house during the day. So it's kind of everybody steps up to sort of make it happen for
Yeah.
people and just what everybody needs. Like you stepped up to help out. When
I
we
was just
didn't
bringing
have
spam
anybody.
musubi.
you just
They're like, here, you work, okay?
she's just bringing Eric something to eat, and it ended up being
And
in a
like,
play.
wow, okay, now I'm in a play. Who knew?
It was a blast. I was the first act, I think. Yeah, I came on first and with 2 other actors, and we had a really good time. Really, really fun.
Yeah,
It really
your
is
play
a
was
good
very
time.
funny.
It is a very good time.
Yeah. It's a lot of the way I describe it to people who have no idea what we're talking about is years ago I participated in what they called all city choir.
Yeah.
If you ever heard of those things. And it was where, we spent a week practicing,
Yeah.
rehearsing every night our songs, and then we gathered for a show on that Friday for
Yeah.
our friends and family. It feels a bit like that because you spend the day focused on this thing, and then you show it off to your friends and family that night. And it's just a lot of bonding that happens along the way in the
Right.
silly moments when you're like, how will I learn these lines? And
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
kind of freaking out. So
Yeah, the story she referenced where I'd been up all night writing and then ended up acting. Fortunately, I was off book. I had all my lines memorized by noon. And I told the director, I said, I need to go sleep in my car. So I went and napped in my car for 2 hours. It was kind of nice.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Where's this located at?
Well, this year, we were hoping to find a permanent home for it, but it's called the Assembly by Kiln. And Kiln is one of those cooperative workspaces. And they have an event space called the Assembly. And that's where we're doing it. It's right up across the street from the Durango Hotel, right at 215 in Durango.
Oh, is it the Commonwealth or the Common?
It's right. It's in there, right where
It's
the
near there,
commons are.
right,
Yes.
kind of right across the
Right
street.
in there where those little restaurants and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
close to us.
Right there.
And it has a very, we decided, bougie feeling. So that's where we got the all
Yeah.
dressed up theme for this year. So
Right.
Yeah.
we're
Right,
looking forward to that all dressed up feeling.
The theme for all the plays is like, as I said, we have to do, we give them a genre, a theme.
We don't
prop.
give them, they draw them. So
Right.
it's still a lot of
Oh, it's
like
gonna be
fun.
drawn this
Right. They
time.
they
draw
always
here
draw
too?
them.
Okay,
They
okay.
draw
Oh, yeah.
their themes, they draw their actors.
Okay.
They're going to draw an actor group. So back in Mark's day, they did it one at a time, but it's a little time consuming. So rather than that, we've pre-drew or we'll pre-draw the groups very randomly. And then the writers will draw a group that's already been put together. And
Yeah.
then that's who they write for. And that's one of the reasons why it's a big deal that people are, you know, stick with their commitment if they want to do this, like sign up, but then stick with it, because it's sad when a play gets written. And I mean, you were amazing stepping in, but it wasn't written for you, you know? So it's like you had a lot to,
I made it mine.
you made it.
That's what you do.
That is exactly right.
That's what you do as an actor.
With the help of the director, the actors,
Right.
everybody.
Yes.
It was great.
It was great.
Costume.
So this year's theme is bougie.
Also,
So all the plays
Bourgeois.
have to have this
Bougie.
bougie theme.
yeah.
So we have no idea where the writers are going to go with
Yeah, who
that.
knows? It's a little more fun. Last year we had given, it was the Super Bowl was in town that same weekend, and
Yeah.
the theme was the Super Bowl. It was and everyone turned the Super Bowl into Taylor Swift, so it was like a very strange thing. It was more about Taylor Swift than it was the Super Bowl. So that one was a little odd, but this year's hopefully we'll
guys-
have a little more dynamics.
Oh, Eric's team
What?
took a different direction with the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I don't remember what our.
You were on the toilet.
I was. No. One of the other actor was on the toilet,
Oh yeah, I thought
Yeah.
you were on the
and
toilet.
Mark was
But it
actually
really
our
funny.
director.
I don't remember your play.
Yeah,
I know. I'm sorry.
I
I couldn't
kind
say
of
that.
don't remember it.
It was the older Asian
Eric
guy, and he was
remembers.
on the toilet, and
It was hilarious.
I forgot what it was about, but that's all I remember.
It was like it was kind of sci-fi.
Wasn't it time travel-y a little bit?
Yeah, theirs was. I just remember the toilet and laughing. I probably
Yeah.
have it recorded somewhere, but it was really,
Well,
really silly.
actually, that since you mentioned it, they are all on YouTube, all except for one.
Oh.
So last year's entire show is on YouTube. If anybody wants to see, Sin City 2424 is
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
YouTube. It's missing,
There you go.
sadly, Best in Show, the play that won Best in Show.
Yeah, we
So-
have the audience vote for whatever play they like the best. And the one that won last
wasn't
year
on.
somehow
Isn't
did
it?
not
Yeah.
get recorded. And it was very disappointing. But
Yeah.
okay.
So is there a runner-up?
Yeah.
There wasn't. No, I think this year we might pick Best Director and Best Writer,
Ooh, yeah.
but we might pick it and not like let the audience pick for
Okay.
the
Yeah, best
play,
overall,
and then
and
we'll
then
pick
we'll-
like the best individuals,
Okay,
you know,
cool.
kind of thing. So
Mm.
it's a little bit like they do it in, you know, Top Chef and shows like that.
So where do the people find out sign up or find out more information about it if they want
Excellent question.
to?
Thank you for that one. Tamara and I have created our own website. It is called QT Creates. Excuse me. So they just go to qtcreates.com, click on the Sin City 24 page, and all the instructions, the description of it, and the instructions to sign up are all there.
And just in case that QT makes no sense, Mark spells his name Marq, so
Yeah.
he goes by Q,
Hmm.
and then of course I'm T for Tamara.
Ah, makes
And
sense.
also, we're really cute. So, QT,
And we're cuties.
yeah, we're pretty cutie.
So it's the letter QT
Creates.
creates.
Yeah.
Okay.
.com.
Cool.
I like it.
Yeah. So actually, I'm curious. Like, we still don't really know your guys' story. So can you share with us, like, how did
your backstory?
your background and like
Us as a team, or
yeah
Or
your
Do you guys know each other?
No.
we
we
just
just
met.
met outside,
We're making all this. Up.
right?
That's so cutie.
How we met is a very
No,
long, convoluted story.
how we met
Married
is
life.
online, and that's about all we're going to say
Yeah,
about that.
we met through OkCupid.
Yeah,
It's actually how
cool.
we met.
Mhm.
And
and it was 10 years ago this 9/11, so just
Oh,
like a month,
Oh,
not
Right.
weeks ago.
happy
We have celebrated
belated.
10 years of meeting
well, that was
each other.
that was our meeting anniversary.
Yeah.
Our wedding
Oh.
anniversary is October 22nd.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be 8 years
Mhm.
in October. So, but yeah, I had been acting and directing for many years prior to meeting Tamara. And I grew up in LA and did a lot of theater there. And And so Tamara is also very creative. She paints, she writes.
You tell you, I'll tell me.
Okay. So anyway, so that was that. I mean, I've been acting and writing for years and directing. I made my directorial debut.
Like what? Tell us something.
What?
Like what? What have you been in or done?
Oh, well, I've done so many. I started out. I actually started out in children's theater, adults acting for children, which is just so much fun. And then I got to direct. My first directing was directing a production of The Emperor's New, no, not The Emperor's New Clothes, The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh.
And there's a very funny story involved with that, but anyway. And then my first grown-up play that I got to direct was a production of Arsenic and Old Lace. And I cast myself as Mortimer because no one else would cast me as Mortimer. It's a role I really would love to play, but Mortimer's a leading man. He's sort of kind of a romantic lead. And this is not the face of a romantic leading man. This is a character face. But I went, I want to play it. So I directed it, and it actually went off very, very well. So, and then the gentleman who played Einstein in that play, he and I created the concept for the first play that I wrote, The Almighty Low, which of course the two of you are quite familiar with. And so that was the beginning of my playwriting, and I've written 3 now. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
And how long was that journey?
Well, the Almighty Low, I began writing it in 2001 and finished it in 2012.
And then continued to adapt it since
Right.
then.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
it was a 1 act,
Yeah.
and because of the content of it, the whole God thing in the original 1 act, the culmination was God's conversation with Satan, and I thought to myself, I'm a mere mortal. Who am I to write this? And I just didn't know. I didn't know what to write there. I didn't know how to get to it. And then one day I was living in Houston, and all of a sudden I went, oh, there it is, and cranked it out and finished my 1 act play in 2012. And then Tamara, when I came to Denver and produced it, Tamara was in it, and she convinced me to make it into a full 2 act play. And so I did, and I wrote that in a week. It just,
Wow.
yeah, well, because, I already lived with these characters. I knew who they were, I knew where they came from, I knew where they were going. So I was much more comfortable with the whole process, and just cranked it out.
After this last iteration, though, when we were attempting to put it up and I contributed many other thoughts and perspectives, I've asked
Yeah.
to be included in the credits for it now.
Yeah. She, it was written, as you guys, well, your audience doesn't know this. It was written just as a comedy. I mean, it was just, I wasn't trying to be really deep or have any religious undertone. I mean, they were there, but I wasn't making them prevalent. And it was just the funny that I was interested in, and the scene in the end, which is very serious and tear jerking, and I cry every time I read it. But
But that was after my influence when
yes.
you're writing it.
and then Tamara pointed out, she went, "Wow, this has a lot of underlying meaning to it." And I went, "It does?" And she's like, "Yes." And so she uplifted the underlying meaning to it, and it made it a better play.
Wives tend to do that, right? Uplift things.
Yes, yes, they do.
Yay,
So-
co-wives.
Go wives.
Co-wives. We rock.
So,
Yeah, well, we've been, we were thinking about the process of how we got to, I know. Whoa. So we were thinking about the process of how we got to where we are and how we work together. And it was a lot of little things because we did do Almighty Low together, and it was a bit of a we figured we'd share this story because it's one of our classic and really funny stories. So I had been in a car accident just before Marq actually was auditioning for his Almighty Low production in Colorado back in 2018. And so I was actually wearing a wound vac because I had my car accident T-boned their car, and I had 2 emergent breast surgeries, and I had it sliced something inside my breast and bled, and I had to get all this stuff. So anyway, I had a wound vac that I carried like a purse, and I went to the auditions, and I guess I was pretty out of it, if I'm honest with you. I've just been in a car accident.
Yeah.
But what I remember is that there just wasn't anybody good enough, Marq didn't like, and so or maybe you just didn't have somebody. I can't remember exactly.
I don't remember if no one
specifics,
showed
but
up
somehow
or-
I stepped up to be Mary in his version of the Almighty Low, and we were rehearsing with me carrying my little wound vac around because we figured it'd be off in time for the performance, but I still had it on while we were rehearsing. So one day I'm wearing it, and God, who has a kind of touchy feely relationship with Mary and Marq's play, the blocking was for him to come behind me and grab me, and it was all very bear huggy and squishy. And I was in a little bit of pain that particular day, and so I had gone over to Marq, the director, husband, the director, and taken him aside, and I said privately, hey, I'm having it hurts today, and could you talk to Wayne and ask him if he could take it easy in that scene?
Yeah.
So that's how I leave it. I go back into our little green room to wait, and the next thing I know, Marq comes bounding into the room, and he's like, "Okay, I talked to him. He's not going to touch your boob as much tonight."
He's going to take it easy on you.
So yeah, we had a little fun with that, and so yeah, I got into it. I think is kind of where it started. I'll be honest. Usually, where I start interacting with Marq's projects is because I see an area that I could help.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, "Hey, this would be better if you this," So we tried me directing, as you guys know. I'm not and it was a mixed bag. We'll just leave it at that. I am not entirely sure I want to direct, but I love the creative aspect of it. So we've decided to work together because in many ways it is where we're best. It's like we sort of shore up for each other what the other one doesn't have.
Yeah.
And so I think that'll be a really nice way of going at it for his next project, where I can bring that artistic vision and he can bring the acting chops. It's really where we have kind of different skill sets.
Nice. So I've always been curious. The Del Monte, did you get that because of Marq?
I did. And in fact, it's kind of cute. So we did our wedding to be a Black Blocks theater production of a prince marrying a ballerina.
What?
Sort of.
That was our wedding.
Yeah, it was a theatrical production.
We had tickets.
When we sent out the invitations, there was tickets. People had to come and present tickets. We had a program. We had bios of the wedding party.
We put
in it.
advertising
That is
for
very
local
cute.
theater and ballet in the back.
Yeah, we have actual ads for this again. This, like you said, this local theater and for the Denver Ballet, who was preparing to do the Nutcracker because this was October and they were getting ready to do the Nutcracker for Christmas. And so it was very fun.
So I kind of danced in Marq, and one of the best moments in our wedding actually was an acting moment, because we had his friend who was officiating said, "I wonder what Marq and Tamara are thinking right now." And then all of us in the wedding party froze, and 2 actor friends of his stood up in the audience and spoke our thoughts.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Yeah, that was very neat. But yeah, so Tamara had gotten this prior to the wedding, and
I know it was a risk, but
over.
I did it.
Yeah. What if she dumped me? I can't marry this guy. Damn it! No, I have to. But anyway, so she wore this sort of a little black. What is that called?
It was a shrug sweater.
Yeah. And so at the end of the ceremony,
I took it off.
she took it
But
off.
you still couldn't see because I was facing with my shoulder away from the audience.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
And so we were pronounced man and wife, and I grabbed her and spun her around, revealing this so that everyone could see. Okay, there it is.
Yeah. So it's my public debut of my Del Monte tattoo. Yeah. But we're kind of infamous because of our more mine than Mark's, because you don't see his as much as you see mine. But we have one of our so it's good that he's showing you. He's pulled down his tattoo or his shirt to show his tattoo. So we lived in Longmont, Colorado, which is a fairly small town in Colorado. And one day Mark was at the grocery store and go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I have this
Your
shtick.
story.
I have this shtick I do. I'll grab like a label off a Del Monte banana or something. I'll go up to one of the clerks, somebody who's working at the store, and I'll say, watch. And I show them the little sticker, the Del Monte sticker, and I place it on my chest and I rub and I go, and then I pull down my shirt and show them the tattoo.
And the clerks look at him like he's crazy.
Right. But,
Usually.
But this one time I did, this one guy looked at me and goes, there was a woman in here last week with the same tattoo. I went, yes, that's my wife.
It was after that I realized that it's going to be very difficult for us to rob a bank. So,
as long as her tattoo's showing.
yeah. Right. Well, the shaved head too.
Right.
I'm particularly rememberable, I suppose.
Can you describe the people who robbed you? Well, there was an old Jew and a woman with a shaved head and a Del Monte tattoo.
We'll find them in 5 minutes.
Hey, I know them.
Have you seen? Oh, yes.
Yes, we have. Go to this house.
What's the story behind getting the tattoo in the first place?
You know, I had mine long years and years ago. I just thought,
He's got some Del Monte pride.
I mean, it's my last name. So I figured, why not?
Yeah.
And then my son, I have twin boys, 37-year-old twin boys. And my son Zachary, he got his in the same place.
Nice.
And his brother has a little itty bitty one right here in his wrist.
Like the sticker.
It's like his is like an obligatory pride.
Yeah,
it's like,
it
I
was
guess so.
All right, well, if you're making me do it,
Part of the fam.
So,
I think mine is actually, of everybody's, the one that is the most like
Prominent.
It's definitely
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
I get a lot of attention for it, and a lot of different attention, because like sometimes people are just like, so can I ask why? You know, just like a
big
little
fan of
confused.
Have you ever said no?
Yeah, like they're
like,
kind
no.
of weird, but then other people assume. They're like, there's one person who had a tattoo of another brand, and they assumed that I had it just because I liked the brand, and I was like, no, it's our name, because I think the brand thing is weird. But I had a guy call me pineapples. That was it. Yeah.
and I think that was in reference to the tattoo, although
Yes, we're hoping.
may have been
We're hoping.
something else.
May have been a
Pineapples.
double kind of thing. But
Double
anyway, yeah.
entendre.
As long as it's not an upside down pineapple.
Right. Well, we do have some history with that whole thing as well. Mark has a pair of shorts with pineapples on them.
Bathing suit. One of my
Yeah.
swim trunks says pineapples.
And then we
all
had
over
a neighbor who like made a bunch of assumptions about us. So
it, which were obviously not true.
not true. Not true at all. As far as anybody knows.
What's upside down pineapple?
It apparently is the
In some
symbol that you're a-
circles, when it's upside down.
you're advertising that you're a swinger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't swing in that
We
crowd.
didn't know. We didn't either. It was a surprise to us.
Really? I had no idea.
So it's good you don't know.
Yeah, right? It's a good sign.
Or someone go, you
My
know,
wife would
Your
Okay.
wife's very happy to hear that.
upside down pineapple means you're a swinger. Yes, I know,
No, woo, okay. Moving away.
but I don't know.
I've only heard in the film industry.
Yeah.
And we'll cut it at that.
Yeah. I don't know anybody who's actually experienced it either, unless they're all
I
liars.
wouldn't know.
Yeah. Hard to say. Hard to say.
Okay, so we've drifted way
Way on.
way afield from
Well, the
theater.
tattoos.
far.
Marcy's topic.
We've gone
Yeah,
to the
there-
darkness.
Here's what I'll tell you about having Del Monte as the last name. I came into it, obviously married into it, and Mark's lived with it his whole life. So he'll be amused. He'll tell you how he was teased. What were you called?
Hey, peaches. Hey, fruit cocktail. Hey, green bean.
Aw.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And there was one guy though, the father of one of the neighbor kids, who called me tomato. But that was like, it was endearing. I mean, I was like, I loved it. It let me know that he cared about me. So that was
Being his
that
little
was
tomato.
Cool.
Hi, my little tomato. That's actually funny because we actually call Frank Perillo, our acting coach, pineapple.
Okay.
In Chinese.
Because
yeah.
in Chinese,
even.
it's bolo is actually pineapple.
Okay.
Hello?
Bolo. Because one of our first like little skit we ever did for our demo reel, we were literally cursing each other out in therapy. And like dim sum items, and one of them was like a pineapple bun.
Okay.
We were like, Bolo, about. He was like, and he would just be like, Bolo, and then and we'd be like, that's your name now. So that's the story.
It must be interesting anytime you hear watching a cop show and they put out a
put out a
bolo.
bolo.
Be on lookout. Yeah,
Put
yeah,
out a pineapple.
yeah,
That makes no sense.
yes.
Oh, yeah, we pineappling. Yeah,
There's probably a lot of upside down ones. Anyway,
Circling back.
right.
What I was going to say though is for me coming into Del Monte as a last name as an adult, I really love it. It's a unique name, and
Yeah.
I've told him a million times. He leaves me, and that's fine. I'm still Del Monte. It's just a fun name. Also, it's really cool in Spanish. So in Spanish, when we went on our honeymoon and anniversary to Mexico, I got to be Tamara Del Monte, which I like a lot. So
Very exotic.
feel free to call me that.
Tamara Del Monte.
Tamara Del Monte. And I do love it anytime. I get that from Spanish speakers. So I'm always like, yeah, thank you. That's who I am. And, but mostly what I get is, do you get anything from the company? That's what people ask me like every time. And I'm like,
I got a
Any
sticker.
kickbacks?
no.
That's the big question we get all the time.
It is free
Like, are you
advertisement.
related?
Yeah.
Product placement
They paid me $1 million
What was really interesting
in
was,
pesos.
yeah, so
and pineapple.
when you're in,
It's not bad.
when you're in Denver, they had this. It was I forget what kind of a show it was, but there was all kinds of food vendors and things like that. And
Yeah.
the odd thing is we walked in. This is with my first wife. We walked in the door, and the very first stand was Del Monte and a representative from the corporation. And I went, "Wow, this is serendipitous." He goes, "What?" And I went like this, and I went,
Mark came onto this podcast so he could show
Mark
show
showed
his
his
chest.
his
So I
clothes
did-
off.
he goes,
It's
he goes, "Oh
concerning.
my God." He was like, "That's amazing. Well, I have to take a picture." And I said, "If you need me to be a spokesperson, I'm happy to."
I just have to stand there.
At that point, he didn't think you were a tomato.
Yeah. And he asked me, he says, "Why do you have that tattoo?" I said, "It's my last name." It's like, he was just all excited about it.
That's awesome.
Never
So long
made a
story
dime
short,
from
no
it.
money.
Never
No money
made a
from the Del
dime.
Monte company
Del
for
Monte
us.
did not hire me. Nothing.
Maybe they will later.
Yeah. Maybe they'll hear this and they'll be like, we
It's
want
possible.
those people.
It's possible.
We could make them bare their nakedness and show off their tattoos. People will buy our fruits and vegetables more now.
Or they'll run scared.
Turns out they're not doing well. They actually filed for bankruptcy.
Oh.
Yeah. People are not buying as many canned goods, I guess. They're into
Yeah.
the fresh, which I am. I can see what their point. So a lot of sodium in the canned stuff.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
So,
added
Preservative
additives.
stuff.
so we're very excited about the upcoming Sin City.
Let me segue back.
Circle back around to that.
That's why we got 5 people.
And
We're excited too.
yeah, it's going to be great. We just yesterday we came up with the idea of also adding a fine arts aspect to it. So in other words,
Just kind of because Mark's more the actor and I have more the art background. And so it was, if we are going to be QT Creates, how do we make this sort of a blending of our interests?
Yeah.
And so that's where we were like, hey, could we do a 24-hour challenge that was for fine art people? And so we were puzzling on the details, and that looks like something we may put out there in the upcoming months.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have 24 hours to paint,
Create.
draw, sculpt,
Whatever.
whatever, and then we'll have we'll find a space, and we will put their stuff up in this space, and invite people to come and vote on whichever one.
So it'll
they
be
like
similar
better.
to this in City, that like friends and family are all invited. We'll also advertise it, and whoever's there to look at them can vote, and then you'll get the recognition of winning this juried art show. You know, it's really more about trying to spur creativity in people, I think, is
Yeah.
what we've decided. We were trying to suss out for ourselves, since QT Creates is kind of new, what we think it is. And a lot of what we have determined is that we would like to help
Foment.
facilitate, different words, people's creativity. So like just trying to provide, more places to get out there and do something that, you're not getting paid for. It's a little bit different. You act different. You loosen up a little. You might take some risks that you wouldn't in other contexts. And so I think that's a lot of what it is like, challenge yourself, do something that you've never done before. If you're used to writing, maybe you should act this year. And maybe if you always act, maybe you should try and write. And,
Yeah.
maybe you're ready to direct, and maybe step into these places in a safe place where there's a ton of other actors and a ton of other people around to step in and help if you need a little, what do I do in this context kind of help,
One of the pages of our website is what our friends are up to. So that's where we're going to promote what other people are doing creatively. For example, I think it'd be a great idea to say about this podcast. Put
Yes.
that on
Yeah,
our, on our
absolutely.
website and talk about this podcast and,
Yeah.
and how people can tune into it. And
What we're imagining is that we could have a link that's, say, your names, and then it just goes to whatever you want to tell everybody that you're doing. So it's just
Yeah.
another touch
Yeah.
point for people to show off and be a part of a different collaborative community. And you never know where those kind of, like I've seen, I'm sort of not an actor per se, but I've seen so many cool sparks of connection happen in these things where people that didn't know each other, hadn't worked together, and then do, and then suddenly now they're doing other things together, and it's
Absolutely.
pretty
I mean,
cool.
look at us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, we love the creative aspect of everything. A lot of our journey with acting started with our school Dream Tracks, and then that's what led us to meet you guys and like the entire community of actors, directors, writers. Eric recently did like a short, and we're writing another one, and podcasting is something that we've always wanted to do, just to connect like with the community, like
That's awesome.
anybody creative, anybody out there like that wants to hang out with us for like an hour.
I think
Right.
it's great.
Like,
Yeah, no, it's awesome. This is the first time I've appeared on a podcast.
we have a lot of firsts on our podcast, which is awesome.
Mine too. I had a friend of mine post just the other day a very funny meme, and it was of the angry old guys from the Muppets, and
Oh.
it said, "I want a podcast that's just these two judging and complaining about other podcasts." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, can they do that after I'm on mine?" That's what I was like. I'm gonna be on one Sunday. Wait till after that. Don't mock me.
That's cute.
It would be a pretty funny podcast, though. Well, one of the other things that we have done together, speaking of kind of who we are as like a collaborative team and kind of how we've gotten to the space that we're in now, is during COVID, there wasn't that much to do, and you kind of turned to your own creativity during that time to come up with things. And it turns out I was pretty good at that. So I decided to have us start doing this thing that I've named Creative Challenge.
Yeah.
And it's basically mirroring things you see on shows that are cooking competitions and anything like that, where they're given a short time and
I
parameters.
recently saw that, like where you get like a task and then you just complete it and then you
Yeah,
move on to the
got
next. It's
30
really
minutes, yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Well, so we'll do like one of the coolest ones we ever did was in Longmont, and we went for a walk, and you had to pick something out while you were walking that you saw that was going to be a part of your story. So that's where it started. And then I can't remember what the other parameters were, but it doesn't matter. You had 30 minutes and we had to write. And at this one, oh, I know, one of the other challenges was we each got to tell the other person a parameter. So in Mark's case, his parameter was that he couldn't write anything from his own life and it had to be serious.
Okay.
You can see why that, if you know Mark, you know why that's a challenge.
He's like,
And so he wrote the coolest story, and so outside of his normal.
Yeah, it was,
You know,
it was,
style.
It was, and the other parameter was it had to be from the perspective, someone else's perspective.
I think it was an inanimate object, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was from the perspective of an inanimate object. So I wrote a story about a 1957 Corvette, and it was the Corvette telling the story of its existence,
nice.
and its and its relationship with its owners, and it was very heavy. Actually,
You don't have to tell that part. It was pretty dark in ways that we don't need to say in here, but it was cool. And it was cool to see Mark break out of some of the, typical ways that he had written things before
comedy,
that.
right? Comedy. It's like, there's
But he's
everything.
really capable of more. I think that's the truth.
Apparently
is what
I
he
am,
saw.
yes.
I noticed a lot of artists when they go out of their norm, like they win a lot of awards. Like who is it? Adam Sandler.
Robin
A
Williams.
lot of people.
was an
Robin
example of
Williams.
that, yeah.
True.
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
So many.
Choosing to be serious and
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
Tom
the other one.
Hanks.
He
Yeah.
really did well when he switched from just comedy.
And Jim Carrey too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing. None of these guys who have won
All
Academy
comedy.
Awards have won them for anything comedic.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
all been their dramatic work, and they
Yeah.
all started out as silly
Comic.
comedians.
Yeah.
You know.
Because it's taking a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? It's something
Well,
that stands
they
out.
they
Yeah.
say that comedy comes from pain.
Yeah.
You take your personal pain, your personal tragedies,
Absolutely.
and make funny out of it.
Yeah.
So there's always at the core, I think, of everyone who's being funny,
Yeah.
there's this pain. And when you choose to go ahead and acknowledge it and work strictly from that point
Yeah.
is where you do some of your really best dramatic work because
Yeah.
you're,
Yeah.
so.
Also comedic, because while you were speaking, I was thinking of another collaborative thing we did together was I wanted, out of random nowhere at one point during COVID, decided that I would like to try stand up. And so I was like, let me see. I think I'm funny. Let me see what I can do. And I spent what we decided is I didn't want to go to an actual club.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to that step first. I wanted to try it in a more safe environment. So we invited a bunch of friends to our house and put on our own little comedy show. So Mark opened
That's
for
cool.
me, and then I did a set, and it was pretty cute. And he did one of his silly characters, which I'll let you do if you want to.
All right. I call this character Keith Osborne. So he's sort of like, could you make the floor stop moving, please? Oh, wait, that's me. Anyway, so this is his character, Keith Osborne. And he thought about, being a stand-up comic, but it's hard standing up. So anyway, that's
So Mark opened for me as Keith Osborne.
as that guy. I did my standard set. I have a set that I do comedically. It's about my mother.
It is literally all stories about
All
his
about my
mom.
mom. And I did it. Only I did it. There's this guy.
Yeah, it was weird that way though.
I know.
But so it was funny. And then I did my little set, and I was Tamara Del Monte. I got to talk about that.
Hey.
And then I also told I can tell this now publicly because my daughter thinks it's funny. For a while, I was estranged from my daughter, and this is why I'm bringing this up, because Marq was talking about processing your darkness through your art. And so at that time, she wasn't talking to me. And so it was kind of like, I'm going to be like comedians do. And I'm going to use this dark part of my life to come up with some jokes. So the joke I came up with for her was that I talked about how much I've dieted in my life, and that I know all the dieting, all the different diets. And so I talked about how I know how many points a full sleeve of Thin Mints is on Weight Watchers.
How many points is that?
You don't want to know. Secondly, I talked about doing the Slim Fasts, but then I forgot you're supposed to actually replace a meal with them.
Not have it for dessert.
But I'm bummed, So went through all my varying diets, and I said, finally, though, I was able to lose the weight. All I had to do was one simple move. I just kicked her out of my life.
Lost 100 pounds just by doing
So
that.
fast. So she thought it was pretty funny, though. But then I had a few other jokes in that were, I don't know. I had a number of about working at Ace, which is a odd experience, and my telenovela I tried to process my car accident in that, and I had this whole. I really admire jokes that circle back. Do you know what I mean? And I was really trying to do that, so it was like my final bit was meant to circle back to every one of my jokes before. I don't think it succeeded, but that's what I was going for.
She did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah.
That one, I think.
I'm decently funny. The truth is that it's just a really lot of work to write jokes. I was like,
Comedy's hard.
I want to do this all the time. Like,
I find comedy easy when I'm writing plays.
I find it easy when I'm adding pithy comments to meetings.
Yes, she's real good with that. Sarcastic pith. She's a master of sarcasm.
I am a master of one zinger in a meeting.
Yeah. But to write stand-up, that's difficult. I don't have that. It seems like stand-up comics, they have this perspective on things. They'll just see the world in ways that I really don't. So
I feel like it's there if I could just get a handle on like my shtick, if that, like, as my recent joke, I'm going to go ahead and tell it now, even if it ruins it for later. But I am so stuck on how slow the lights are here. So I've been writing a bunch of versions of jokes around that. So like the one that we were talking about this morning was that I'd be like welcoming everyone to Sin City, and I could be like, welcome, we're so glad that you made it. I know you had to leave yesterday morning to deal with all the lights between your house and here. So
waiting for all the...
Yes. They're just stupid here.
Do something about it, Vegas. Fix it. Fix it.
They're so long. Although they're very relaxing. I find driving here very relaxing. It's like hard to get a good road rage going when you have to stop for 10 minutes in every few,
Every intersection.
Like, how do you keep it up? It's just...
Sorry, I'm always on the freeway.
I hate the freeway. I'm not a big... But I had a major car accident, so I'm a little... I have some anxiety around cars.
Yeah.
We don't need to go dark, though.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yes.
Yeah. Welcome to the dark side.
We already went there with the pineapples.
Yeah.
Right.
I haven't been tempted to write much about plays. I will say that I write, but I find the limitation of the time frame that you need to have in a play a little bit hard to wrap my brain around when I'm trying to tell a story. It's like I was a literature major, and so for me, stories are bigger. Stories are like War and Peace, they're big, whereas stage stories are like looking at a microcosm inside of that story, and it's a little harder for me to wrap my brain around. I will also admit I'm not as skilled as Marq at dialogue. So I can paint a picture. Like, I'm far better at like, let me put you in the mood. Let me set the scene. I can do all of that really well. But when it comes to the dialogue, Marq is much better.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any tips for us in terms of comedy and writing and stuff like that? Like, That's stuff that we're interested in too, but we don't have that much experience.
Well, as you were talking, I was also thinking of adding that to like, you know, one of the events as, you know, comedy night.
Well,
24-hour
we have
That would be
actually, we've
cool.
actually thought about doing Sin City one year as, you know, just for laughs.
Yeah.
Sin City 24, just for laughs. And every show, every play has to be funny.
Yes.
But again, it's you know, it's the age old write what you know. You know, think about what's funny to you, what, you know, your own, what makes you laugh, what makes you.
When I think about how I've helped with things that Mark already wrote, like, as I was thinking about, Mark already wrote such a funny play in The Almighty Low, but there were things that I added to it that were, I don't know why, except other than like Mark saying, is they sort of come to you as an inspiration. So the one that I'll point out was the priest and the rabbi. So that was not something that he wrote into the play. But when we were thinking about having extras on the stage, all of a sudden it was like, well, who could walk into a bar? And my brain went,
Priest and a rabbi walking to a bar. One of the in the Almighty Low that they were going to be in, that Judy and Eric were going to be in. We had decided to have extras, just people who had no lines.
bar patrons, basically.
Yeah, bar patrons who are just sitting there, and because the thing takes place in a bar, and so we thought this is very cool. Number one, it'll allow for people who kind of just want to dip their toes into theater but aren't ready to take on lines, but gives them a chance to be immersed in it and involved in it and be part of it without the burden of learning lines. So we thought we'd bring in these extras. And then Tamara got the idea of priest and a rabbi walking to a bar.
And we sat and laughed and laughed and laughed.
Yeah.
Like I totally remember when I thought of it. It was like we
Yeah.
busted up
Yeah,
laughing. So yeah, I think those things are, like I was saying about the pithy comments, like that's where I think humor is those like the first thought things.
Oh,
The ones
yeah.
that you don't censor from your best friend.
Yeah,
It,
exactly.
those are the funniest thoughts. It's like if you have to think about it a little bit and craft it, it loses eventually, like some of it's actual funny.
Yeah. That's what in trying to learn comedy, it puts me too much in my logical mind, and it
Totally have to let go of that.
Yeah.
There's you as in all acting, you got to get out of your head. You know, you have to. So comedy's the same way. Don't just open yourself up to
Yeah.
I think
looking
what
at
he's saying,
things.
what you think is funny, because Mark and I do not think the same things are funny.
Yeah,
Like, our
I'm-
sense of humor is really very different.
You know, I like fart jokes. And, you know,
And I want it to be like the things I think are funny. Like I'll post things sometimes. I'll think it's so damn funny, and I'll post, and I can hear the crickets chirping. Like that's the saddest part.
Maybe the crickets are laughing. I don't know.
they-
Who cares?
It's because the kind of thing I think is funny is just sort of a little obscure, you know. And
Yeah.
so I
Me
don't.
too. I can be that way.
I
Also.
I often, you know, when we play Cards Against Humanity, I
we
often
need
lose.
to play that at your party.
oh yeah.
But I often lose because what I think is funny, like I'll put it, I think this is hysterical. I put it down and the person picks it up and is like,
No.
interesting choice. And they don't even get the joke.
Next.
Sometimes I start off like that, and then I'm like, fine, fuck it. I'll
Right?
like,
Put the fart joke.
I'll go with the audience on this round. When we start winning.
But something that
We definitely need to play that.
I've not
Be
done
on the
that
same
I
team.
should do is sometimes you'll think of something funny in your head and then you won't remember it.
Yeah.
So
All the
it's
time.
really important to keep either a little tape or your phone, get a voice recording app
Yeah.
on
we
your
started
phone.
doing that.
And when you think of something funny, put it
Or a
down.
notebook.
Yeah, or keep a notebook or tape or something
Yeah.
to keep track of these little things that you find funny. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I do that in the notes app on my phone, but a lot of times, like it's like what you guys said. In the moment when it's coming to me, I think it's hilarious in my head, but then I write it, and then I share it, and they don't think it's funny,
"Where
and
is
then
the
I
joke
read
in
it again.
this
I was like,
now?"
that's not as funny as I remember it.
There's a very funny Seinfeld that where he wakes up in the morning. He's in the night. He's thought something was hysterical and wrote it down. In the morning, he wakes up and cannot understand what the hell he was trying to go for. So he
Yeah, that's
spends
us.
it's the entire episode going around to people going, "What do you think this meant? What do you think this meant?" And when he finally figures out what he meant, it was something on a show that he thought was really funny when it happened. And when he remembers it, he's like, "Oh, that's not very funny, is it?" And he just throws it away. But it's like a whole episode of him trying to figure it out. So, yeah, pretty classic, I guess, of trying to remember those moments.
Yeah, the cliche, right? Like I said, of write what you know. That's
Mark's taken, like we said, most of, until I would say the last 5 years, most of what Mark wrote was one-to-one from his life. Like not even, it like took the whole sales story and then just put different names on it, basically.
some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think now you're doing a little more subtle stuff with the things that you've written where it's not as one-to-one exactly. There's a little more play with
Or
it.
I'll do twist. One play that I started to write that I cannot.
He thinks he can't.
I can't.
I cannot.
It's called Karen. So it's actually about this 67-year-old woman named Karen,
And she's a Karen.
and she's a Karen.
Please
Yep.
write it.
Yes, and her 40-year-old niece, who is named after her. So her name is also Karen,
With a C.
but she's not. But she's not a Karen. And so I wrote because I wanted to write a play for and about women, and especially older women, because there's no
You wanted to give roles to women
right
on stage.
Yeah, there's very few roles
Oh,
for
yeah.
older women in stage because men write plays and men like young, cute. They don't like older, middle-aged women. So I started to write this, and I got about a page and a
I like them.
third into it. Yeah. Got about a page and a third into it, and I stopped and went, wait, I don't know anything about women. And I
You gotta
couldn't
get it from a woman's
and I
perspective.
I couldn't go on because again, when I write, I'm writing what I know, from my experiences, from my life.
I've tried to get him to get a little bit out of that because I don't know as
Yeah.
a literature major myself, I'm going to argue that you don't have to just write what you know. That would limit us as writers. We wouldn't be able to write very much if we could only tell our own story.
And these
Right,
little short stories I've written a couple, like the one about the Corvette, and then there was another one that's sort of just the introduction. It was an introduction to a post-apocalyptic situation, which had nothing to do with me at all. And they're quite good, but I just haven't. I can't just say, okay, I'm going to write now and start writing. I have to have some kind of inspiration. I have to have something that is pushing me forward. And after the last complete play that I wrote, I haven't really had anything that's pushing me forward. I don't know. Maybe I will.
I had the idea, I hadn't actually told you this, but I had the idea of what would it be like for me to write a part for Mark? Because I was like, I wonder, like, could I write something that stretched his acting in some way? Or, like, I don't know. I puzzled about, like, would that be a cool project for myself to write something that he could act, because he always wants to act in his own plays. So I was like, maybe I could write something that he could act in, but that would be written for him, but not him. Like that's, I think, the challenge, like something sort of outside the box. So
Right, like the Corvette. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that would
Yeah.
be great. Just go for it. Yeah.
some kind of, so we'll see. You never know. We like creative projects. So.
Yeah.
So we were thinking with these art challenges that maybe we could throw them up once a month on our website, and that
Oh,
people
yeah.
that felt like doing an art challenge themselves could do it whenever they wanted to. But it would just be the idea out there, like, here's the topic, here's the challenge. You've got 30 minutes, go do it. And then if you liked it or if you had fun, post a little bit on our site of, your final project of your version of doing it. So we're going to throw that up there, and throw it at the wall, see if it sticks.
I love
Yeah.
the idea.
Sounds cool.
I'd be totally down, and then you can link it on your you can link it on your social media, and it'll also like bounce back to the page. So and then people can join in on the project. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
I think it'd be really fun. And then you never know. We've had some really fun things, both of us, come out of the projects that we did. And one of the things we did, just as another idea of how people can use these things, is we did it virtually with our grandkids. So we sent them the supplies, and then we a time and a date to Zoom meeting, and we got on the meeting. We told them the project, what they had to do. We got off. We had 30 minutes. We all went and did it, and then we came back on the meeting and showed what we did.
That's amazing.
It
I
was
love
really
that.
fun.
In that case, it was we made took paper bags and made masks out of the paper
We had
bags.
and our names. So like
yeah.
you wrote your name and it like you smushed it, so it created the face, and then you had to use that as the face of your monster mask,
base.
and then so it was pretty fun. We a lot of really cute, creative options from everybody.
Mine was I'm not a
His was fine. It was very cute.
And you guys can do it based on like holiday season. And
whatever, sure.
Yeah,
people into
exactly.
Yeah.
You can
Gives
use this
people
for
a
your
fun
house,
thing
yeah.
to do with your family.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you can't
It'll
think
be
of
cute.
something else. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. And it's fun. We are very creative family. My daughter is very creative. It's been fun to have her.
Oh, good.
She's
She designed the flyers for Sin City 24,
Oh, nice.
and then she's great. She does graphic art and stuff. And then,
yeah.
Did
And
you
she's
bring a flyer with you guys? No.
because we're dumb. We meant to actually. That's
Yeah.
what's sad.
We need to make new ones. The first flyers we made had a QR code that led people to the tickets for Sin City
I took
24.
a picture of it.
Oh, yeah, that's
it. And
But we'll also add it to Instagram, social media.
but the QR code
Yeah, that
apparently
one, the
expired.
QR code expired, but we do have a new one that has just the URL.
Yeah,
So
we'll
we'll forward
update.
that to you.
Yeah.
Okay, just let us know and
Yeah.
we'll add it on.
I'll shoot
Yeah.
it over to you because she had to fix it. We didn't know it expired. Somebody told us, so it was really cool that it had it. But
The license plate on our car actually says "We Create." That's our license plate. It's also the symbol for one of the pages on our website.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So October 4th.
Yes.
The show. And what
October
time does
4th,
it start?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. is when it starts.
bougie. You gotta
Very
be
For the audience,
bougie.
tickets are available at Eventbrite.
There's a lot of nice places to eat out
Oh,
for
yeah,
dinner
yeah.
there
It's great.
beforehand, so you can make it a date night.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or after. Well, I don't know how late they're open.
I would think before.
You can go over to Durango if you want to eat late. Durango's right across the
Do
street.
a little
so-
gambling,
We
come
always
to
go
the show.
after, yeah.
So yeah, if you go
Get
to
a room.
Eventbrite and just
You're
search,
welcome, Las Vegas.
I know, right?
There you go. Just search Sin City 24 on Eventbrite. It'll lead you to the tickets. And they're-
Actually, speaking of Las Vegas, there is some sort of sale on Las Vegas next week. So
What do you
there's
mean?
probably there's like super sales on all of Las Vegas next week.
Oh,
It's some
like
sort of
staycations?
staycation. I think
It's-
they're
yeah,
offering a
deals
lot of
low right
local
now.
discounts.
local discounts, deals on actual like the adventure things around town. So if you
I
want a
think
deal
parking
next
is
week,
free for like a month in some resorts. I think,
Yeah.
That's cool.
they're looking to get us
They're
out
trying
there
to
and
pull-
enjoy stuff. So
So come to Vegas and
yeah.
watch the show.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Come see Sin City 24, please.
Sin
Yeah.
City 24 all dressed
Come
up.
act in it.
Yeah.
Come participate. You know,
Yes.
you never know where it'll bring you. You'll meet a lot of fantastic people. We
And
met
all
them.
levels. That's something we didn't mention, but
Yeah,
all
all
talent
levels.
levels.
Oh, yeah, there's
no audition.
there's no auditions.
Everybody's at welcome.
As I tell people, if you want to act, you're in. If you suck, it's the director's problem. You know.
Maybe yours a little bit, but
Well, and the audience, not mine.
I meant you.
If you
the
suck,
actor.
do it with confidence.
Exactly.
Yes.
Whatever you do, do it with confidence.
Yes.
That's true in all
Committed.
of life.
Yes. Just
Yes.
commit.
Yeah, we'll update everything online when we post it. So
Great.
everything will be up to date. And
Great.
we'll post it. We got to post it soon. So
Yeah.
very soon.
It is soon. We're excited. We're very
Yep.
excited.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you very much
appreciate
for
you
coming.
guys.
Thank you
No,
guys so much.
thank you so much for having us.
You're very
Of
fun.
course.
It's been a
course.
pleasure, and well, hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys at All Dressed Up.
Yay.
Bougie.
There you go.
Bougie,
Just a bit.
bougie, baby.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Till next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
My ears are sweating.
Yeah.
Sweaty ears.